Hey there, what is going on? My name is Jelena Ostrovska from JelenaOstrovska.com, and I show young entrepreneurs how to grow a profitable online business while creating a limitless lifestyle and having more fun. And in this video, we're going to be talking all about productivity hacks for entrepreneurs, how to accomplish more in less time. So who doesn't want to spend less time on bigger projects? So how would you actually like to be more productive and more efficient with your time? So the number one thing that I will tell you, you always have to first change your mindset about your tasks, about your business, honestly about everything, because mindset is really where it all begins. So you do have to change that first. So don't ever try to tackle your entire to-do list. So if you're somebody who who's similar to me, I always make a list of things that I do want to get done. So some people say, oh, it's not effective. Honestly, I do believe that it is effective, because whenever I personally see kind of the outline of everything that I have to accomplish in my business, then I know kind of what I'm dealing with, and I know how much time I'm going to spend approximately on that. So do create a to-do list, but don't try to tackle everything in one day. You do need to prioritize. You do need to figure out what is the number one thing that is going to be a game changer for me. What is, that one, maybe two tasks that I really need to get done today before I move on to the rest of the list. Because like for myself, like for you most likely, there are always going to be big projects. There are going to be sometimes smaller tasks that may not even require your attention, but you do kind of want to get them done just because it's kind of easy to get them done. Don't let the small things take away your attention from the bigger things, okay? So and prioritize, prioritize, because honestly, if you don't do it, then you will be kind of spinning your wheels trying to get everything done. And trust me, I've tried it. I've tried to make a list of 10 things that are kind of on my to-do list right now, and then I try to do every single one of them. I sit down in front of my computer, and then I even try to multitask, trying to do 5 different projects at the same time, and then eventually I end up spending more time on each project because I don't really focus on one thing at a time. So make a list, prioritize, and then do one thing at a time. Especially if there's something that really requires your attention, like stat, then don't even look at anything else, because trust me, if there's a task that you just kind of made that task that you kind of want to get it done by the end of this month, don't try to get it done in the first of the month. If you really think that it can wait, then let it wait and do the important things first. So number 2, break it down. So a lot of the times, probably one of the biggest questions people always ask when it comes to productivity is, how do you eat? That's probably one of my favorite analogies when it comes to productivity. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. The same thing applies to your business. If you have something like a huge task, it may take a week, it may take you 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. Maybe that's creating a funnel, maybe that's creating a lead magnet, maybe that's, setting up a bunch of Facebook ads, whatever the case may be. There's always going to be something that's going to be very time consuming. So break that task down into smaller portions to where you're not going to feel overwhelmed. Because I don't know about you, but for me personally, whenever there's something that is like a giant task and I look at it and I don't really want to do it, and then I realize, oh, if I actually break it down into 3 pieces, then I can get it done in a matter of 3 days, for example, instead of trying to tackle it for 2 weeks. Because when you have a big task, you do tend to procrastinate on it until you're kind of on a time crunch, and then you try to, and eventually it either never gets done or you get it done not on time. Okay, so make sure that you break it down into smaller pieces, because it is easier to accomplish that. And don't try to get it done in as the short, you always want to try to tackle a particular task in the shortest amount of time, obviously, but don't try to squeeze a week-long project into 2 hours, because you will feel overwhelmed, you will feel just kind of stressed out. So don't try to get it done within a matter of a few hours if you know it's going to take a long time. Break it down, make it as simple as possible for you, and then get to that task. So Another thing is like there's always the dilemma for a lot of people is like, what is it that I need to get done first? Because I'm telling you, so probably for you probably can relate to this as much as I can relate to that. Whenever we have like a to-do list, right? So we have a few different tasks, some of them are hard and we don't really want to do them, and some of them are easy and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and do it and then cross it off my list. So for me, if I'm being totally honest, for me it's a lot easier to do something like the easiest thing first and then move on to the hard thing, okay? Especially if it's not like at the top of my list, then I can put the hardest thing a little bit later, just because for me this is how my mindset works. And a lot of the times we keep hearing, do the hardest thing first. And honestly, I do agree to a certain extent, do the hardest thing first. If you do feel like you have been procrastinating on it, do the hardest thing first if you feel like that is going to be the game changer inside of your business. And do the hardest thing first if you know you kind of don't have the time to do it and you are, kind of running out of time, so it has like a particular deadline, then get it done first. Otherwise, for me, this is how my mindset works. If I have a list of 5 different things and there's one that is super hard, honestly, I always get done the other 4. And then I feel so much more productive. I feel like my to-do list is actually shrinking. And then I know that I can move on to that hardest thing. And then honestly, I always end up, getting it done in the shortest amount of time possible. So I don't know if it's just me, like if you can relate to this, like drop a comment below this video or below this blog post, wherever you are, watching this. But honestly, figure out what is easier for you. So because everybody's different, I don't feel like you can, stick to the same thing that everybody else believes. So figure out, do you want to do the easiest thing first or do you want to do the hardest thing first? Because a lot of the times I do try to spend too much time on like a very hard project and then I end up not doing anything like from that to-do list. So a lot of the times for me, it's just easier to do the easiest things and then move on to the hard project, okay? So, and here's something else that I will say, this is a little bit controversial, but you do need to embrace the habits. When it comes to being productive, honestly, it always comes down to the habits, because a lot of the times, there are certain things that they have to be done, they must be done, right? But then we tend to procrastinate on them and then we don't ever get anything done. So let's say there's one particular belief that people still kind of, keep believing into, is do the things that you love. And honestly, when it comes to business, when it comes to entrepreneurship, like I don't know which business you're building, it may be network marketing, it may be affiliate marketing, maybe your own coaching, maybe you're into fitness, nutrition, maybe you have your own company. So people do say do the things you love. I just disagree with that, because I do believe that in the beginning, you do need to do the things that you hate. For me personally, like I'm not the most friendly person. Like I'm pretty friendly, but I have never been the best person when it comes to communication, just because I come from like my background is, I've always been an introvert. I'm Russian, so it was very difficult for me to kind of switch from always like talking in Russian to talking in English and like heck about business. So I was like, how am I even gonna do that? So I didn't really want to go out and network with people. I didn't really want to go to live events because I was super shy. So, but did I do it? I mean, I did it anyways, just because I knew that was something that was really going to push me and my business forward. So I still did it. Okay, so I did it anyways, and then eventually, those kind of non-negotiable activities inside of my business that I hated, they became a habit. So these days, when I know that I have to go out and reply to my Facebook messages, even when I don't want to do it, I know I'm still gonna do it, just because it is a habit. It is a habit that I've developed over the years. When it comes to, let's say, building my network marketing business, so I know that every single day it's kind of my duty to go out and meet 10 new people every single day, like clockwork, right? So I still go out and do it. Maybe I don't want to do it on a particular day, but I still do it anyways. There are, for example, for me, like I do like 2 Facebook lives a week on my Facebook personal profile. So do I not want to do them sometimes? Probably. Do I still do them? Of course. Like, do I still get my face ready? I still do it, because it is a habit that I've developed over the last you know, I will say a few months, like the last few months, specifically for the Facebook Live. So you have to embrace the habits, and then eventually, so there's always going to be tasks that you like, that only you can do. For example, get your face on video, maybe go out and reply to messages, like if that's kind of in your list of, like, you know, daily tasks that you're doing. So like there are things that you won't be able to outsource, but then there are going to be things that you will be outsourced. So if you're somebody who's not techie and you are just like, well, Jelena, I hate technology, like I don't want to build websites, I don't want to deal with any of that, that you can outsource. I don't really feel like you should be, you know, wasting your time trying to learn everything, because you're not going to be an expert like at every single little like detail inside of your business. So those kinds of things you can outsource. But if there is an income producing activity like going out there networking, going to events, like something that really pushes you outside of your comfort zone and you don't really feel like doing that, you won't really be able to outsource. Like you have to be always present in your business, and a lot of the times the things that you hate, eventually you'll find yourself actually liking them. So for me, when I first started out, I never really enjoyed prospecting. I never really enjoyed, like, you know, like talking to people, getting on the phone. These days, I'll be honest, like I actually found myself liking the fact that I get to network with so many people all over the world, and it makes me feel good when I go out and expand my audience. Like I do feel like I'm able to make a bigger impact with my content, with, you know, like everything that I create online. So it does make me feel good. Back in the days, like years ago, I did not feel like it just because I hated doing that. But then eventually it did become a habit, and I, you know, did find myself liking that. So there you go. Those are my all of the tips for productivity. So I really hope you enjoyed them. I really hope you put them to a good use. So if you did, give my video the thumbs up on my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already. And turn on notifications for the future videos so you don't miss out on any one of them. I do post them every single week. So, and for more trainings and tips just like this, be sure to hop over to my website, JelenaOstrovska.com, and join my newsletter. Just subscribe, get your free gift at the very top of the website. And if you like to stay more connected, you can also join my free Facebook community, theunlimitedentrepreneur.com. So hope you enjoyed this video, and until next one, bye.